obviously first up, tough to lose. Jay, can you just follow up that up?
Yeah, obviously he's a captain. He's had a really good season up to date. He's worked really hard from pre-season for this season, so it's a big miss. It's going to be more or less 3 to 4 weeks. So, yeah, look, he's working hard behind the scenes. So, yeah, you can't replace your captain that easily, but we have to move forwards and find solutions for the team.
Who are going to be some of the guys that you hope take that extra step in responsibility?
Well, look, in midfield you got a young player from the B team, 𝗱𝗁𝘁𝗶𝗹𝘀, who stepped in and debuted and did very well. And he gets an opportunity now to keep improving and keep growing and keep developing from that perspective with this opportunity. There's Samuel Klein as well. They'll have to step up and take some leadership and control of leadership in the midfield as well. And then of course we've got other players that will fill in those positions in midfield that will help us with our game going forward and defensively as well.
Vidic missed against Auckland. Is he going to come back?
He's back in the squad, which is great. Obviously, he had from fatigue, the immune system was down and he suffered something. So he's back, so that's really important. And we bolster our squad like that as well going forwards.
A bit tough few weeks for him. The boys really getting around him?
Look, it was a tough period. It was a real tough period. 4 games in 10 days. And it's not a complaint or an excuse. We're bitterly disappointed with the results, because I still think with playing with the energy that we had and probably in a gear that we're not accustomed to, because we usually play with a lot more intensity and a lot more purpose, I still think we could have got points in a few, especially the Melbourne City game, where I think we had a really good second half, and even the Auckland game set us back a bit with that goal from the set piece. So, and that was disappointing, because I think we've defended really well in set pieces. So that's something we looked at. But we look at that period, and I look at it a little bit. You can say there's no such thing as a winter pre-season in Australia, but I look at it as okay, we have to have a miniature pre-season of playing 4 games in 10 games. What can we learn from it going forwards? And there's plenty of learnings, and there was plenty of opportunities as well. And now's a period where we can reset. It's interestingly enough, we're flying away again to the furthest destination in Australia. So that's something, but we've had a bit of time to relax, rest, and prepare for this game. And I'm hoping we do really well there and then come back, and then I think we go back into real normality.
You mentioned derby time. You obviously have Lucas doing so well this season as well. We just saw the women's team, a 19-year-old score her first goal. How important is it for the Roar and for Aussie football to find these teenagers, give them opportunities?
Yeah, look, it's important, and I think it's part and parcel of the job that you're always going to find a youngster. It shouldn't be your all-end-all major goal of the season. It should be the part of the process that happens, that we develop 1, 2, 3 players, and if one comes through a year, that's fantastic. The opportunity obviously came up for Nolan, and he's taken it. He's been during pre-season, he's played a lot of game time in that role, and he's done a good job. It was always going to be a challenge for him to start the game and see how far he can go into it, and I thought he did a really good job. So there's going to be opportunities like that again, there's no doubt about it, and that's the purpose of the B team. And that's also the purpose of why we've aligned the B team so closely with the first team, that players can seamlessly come into the first team and do a job. Yeah, look, I think there were lessons, there's no doubt, that we got caught out in situations that we've usually been very good. And that's why I mentioned set pieces, for example. I don't think we had a problem up to date, and it's something I rectified from the season before. I think it's got a lot to do with fatigue and being tired, and you start to make mistakes when you're tired. And it's something we looked at, how we can change things up a bit. That's one thing. There's many other things that I'm not going to go on, because that's for us behind the scenes. But you don't lose, you learn. And for us in this period, we've looked at it that way, because we've had a really good start, and I don't take these games as we lost purely just from not performing well, because I think and I believe that we gave everything in those 4 games. The players gave everything, and you saw that in games that we did go down, even being fatigued and tired, they still ran themselves to the ground right to the final minute to try and get a result. And I like that mentality. A lot of people question me complaining about the 4 games. It's not that. Like, you can play 3 games in Europe over 10 days, but one is you're not playing in this heat, you're not playing in these conditions, in this humidity, and 2, usually the team you play against is actually going through the same thing. So we played 2 teams in Wellington and Auckland that were resting for 5 days in Brisbane and training 5 days and probably playing golf in between, as I've heard. So when they do it in Europe, it's completely different, and I think that's really got to be looked at, especially playing 4 games in 10 days in harsh conditions. So it was what it is, and okay, we learned from it, we moved forwards, and I'm happy to reset and really look forward to the rest of the season now and try to trigger again what we had in the first few rounds, of what took us to the top, what took us to nearly being at the top of the ladder. So we're all positive about it, and we're looking forward to the game against Perth, which I think is going to be more or less a final. You know, they've got a perfect opportunity, playing at home, and they've been doing well, they've been getting results. They're in a situation that we were a month ago. So it's a beautiful challenge for us to go now and really take the game to them.